Let's say, for example, World at War. I'm in Doris. God, I just said that. I don't know if you guys.
I'm on Doris. Take a good hard look at the motherfucking map.
I don't know if you guys know this. I'm assuming you know the song. Anyways, what I was wanting to talk about first is the dev talk, and I think it was good, that they put out that dev talk. But I'll be completely honest, I think half the reason that they're doing this with multiplayer and zombies is because of Battlefield 6. Let's just be completely honest.
1000%. Yeah, definitely.
But regardless, it's happening. So I wanted to see what you guys thought about the changes that they announced in that. And if there was something that you were kind of disappointed by. There's definitely one for me, but I'll let you guys go first.
One of the bigger things, I'm glad they had touched on it first, was the HUD. We're like, yep, we'll have a unique HUD for this game. I guess along with others in the future seasons. I don't know if that's going to be ones that we've had in the past that they're going to, I guess, drip feed us or whatever. But I am happy at least that we have a HUD coming and they're going to show us before launch. In terms of the other stuff, what else did they do? Let me actually pull up the list.
For sure,
well, he does that. I already got mine ready to go. You ready? I feel like I waited all day for the fattest, juiciest nothing burger I've ever eaten in my life.
Oh no.
All right. Like I feel like a lot of the stuff they said is stuff that they've already told us, and it did not feel like the multiplayer dev talks at all. The multiplayer dev talks, it felt like they were just giving us truthful, honest answers because they knew that's what we needed. Whereas the zombies dev talk still feels like super picky Activision and Treyarch marketing. Like, I don't think any of those questions were actual questions asked by fans. I think they were written by some guy in the marketing department, and he was like, yeah, these are the questions that we're okay to answer.
Yeah, I completely understand that. But anyway, Clambo, do you have anything else you're gonna say?
No. I was asking, Killer. You were saying like, you think they nitpicked like kind of very specific questions that not a lot of people were asking?
Yes, I feel like it was very much so. Everything they grabbed was intentional, and I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't actually the stuff that people wanted answered.
It didn't feel genuine.
It didn't feel genuine. It felt fake, and the only thing that they answered that people wanted to really know was the curse mode.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think the cursed mode, I think it's gonna be good. I think it is. But in terms of the dev talk, I think there were things, and I think I watched Milo's video on it, and I think he said it great when I believe he was talking about keeping things a secret for secret's sake, and but the other side is like letting us know when, like, so we don't misinterpret something that they said. And I think a question that Kevin Drew, or not a question, an answer that Kevin Drew had said was about the super Easter egg in BO6 not being there. I just wish he would just say like yes or no. And I think everyone was kind of just like, okay, so we're pretty sure no super Easter egg in this game. Because he said something along the lines of, at the end of this year, and it wouldn't make sense to put a super egg at the end of this year for Black Ops 7. Wouldn't make sense. So it kind of seemed like there might be one, but I think everyone's kind of just like, yeah, we're not getting one this year. So kind of weirdly cryptic, sort of. And I know he wants to keep things a secret sometimes, but sometimes it's, I wish we knew, or wish they phrased things a little better.
Yeah, I completely believe that there needs to be an English teacher at Treyarch. It's no offense to them, right? Like, it's not like an offensive thing. It's just that it seems like all the time they're making little errors with their grammar like that. Like the example you brought up with him saying at the end of this year, I think obviously, well, you can assume that he means the end of this year's life cycle coming up for COD. But if he actually meant the end of this year, there's something coming, then I don't know, man. They just need to find a way to communicate that better. And kind of go off of like Killer's point, man. Like, I think there was only maybe 2 like genuinely interesting questions on there. And the first one was the one about the wonder weapon situation. That was actually cool. I liked how they threw that question in there. I don't know if you guys have seen the weapon, but a lot of rumors have been spreading around saying that it was supposed to be the wonder weapon for Shattered Veil and all that, which I like that they kind of poked fun at that. That's cool. And the only other one that I think that was like just good to hear for me was that for the most part, Black Ops 6 enemies are not coming back. Now, I know we had the Doppelgas that passed round 40 and like people were roasting them for that, which I agree. Like, I don't see the point of spamming the Doppelgas over and over again. Like, they're the new Manglers, basically. Like, Manglers were the problem for a little bit, and now Doppelgas have been the issue, for the last, 3, 4, 5 mats, something like that. So I'm glad that they addressed that, but just to kind of go off of the point again, like, it just feels like I watched the multiplayer discussion, right? And I watched the zombies discussion videos, and to me, they just give off two completely different vibes. Like, it feels like zombies' discussion video feels so much more restricted, which naturally it is because, they want it to be more secretive. And then I also feel like Kevin Drew has a lot of pressure on him to be like kind of like how Jason Blundell was, being cryptic and being secretive. Definitely. And he just doesn't. And like I said, it's fine. We're human. We're not all great at the same thing. He just isn't as good at doing that, in my opinion. He doesn't make it as interesting. He doesn't. And maybe some of that isn't his fault. Maybe it's Activision as well. But I just feel like hopefully they'll do more of these before the game comes out, because I'm still really interested to know the mechanics of the game that are still to come that they haven't announced. I really like the HUDs, right? They did say there's one specific unique one coming for launch, so I'm really excited to see what that's going to look like. I'm excited for that too. Because, dude, and it's not that HUD in the beta was bad. It's just multiplayer. It's a multiplayer HUD. It looks great as a multiplayer HUD. It looks good. Reminds me a lot of BO2 in a way, but for zombies, it just doesn't work for me. And
yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I do want to say, like, I know we're kind of talking like, oh, I wish they said this, I wish they said that. I'm at least glad this dev talk is here. I'm glad that I'm glad that it happened. True. Don't get me wrong. I am really glad that they're actually doing this. We don't want them to stop.
No,
we just want them to be a little bit more specific about it.
A little more transparency and a little more just better communication. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, a lot of the times with the multiplayer dev talks, they're coming out early week, midweek. Every time they promise some communication for zombies, they say it's coming next week, and then they make us wait until Saturday. Friday, Saturday, you know what I mean? And then they don't say shit about it. And it's like, we want it to keep coming, but like treating it with either a little more urgency or giving the community a little bit more respect would be great.
I agree. And that's been a problem ever since the beginning of the marketing for this game, man. Like, I remember, I don't know if you guys were looking into this, but I remember when they were saying, oh, there is so much zombies content that we have to have a whole week and then maybe another week to reveal everything. And it got everybody all hyped. And their definition was it was coming in mid-September, I think was the language they used.
Early September.
Early September, which to me means at the latest. Like, you can have different definitions, but at the latest for me, that's the 1st through the 14th, at the latest,
right? 2 weeks.
Agreed. And, there's also people that will say, well, you could use that week as the early, and then you have middle, which is like the 7th through the 14th or whatever. But for me, dude, that is literally like, I don't know. It's so irritating for me that they say that, they get you all hyped up, and then, oh, hey, guess what? Early September's here. Okay, it's been the first week. It's still early September. And then now it's middle of September. Now it's late September. And then we're finally getting something. Like, I don't know if it was just a lack of communication internally, like with, the marketing team and the actual team creating these trailers. I don't know. But that, and then, like I said, it's so misleading. Like, they didn't release anything that was groundbreaking to me. Like, because they hyped it up and said, oh, it's going to be so much. It's going to be too much. There's too much zombies information for us to reveal. And then the stuff that they reveal, for me anyways, most of it is just kind of like, all right, I already kind of figured this is going to be in the game, So
what do you wish that or is there anything specific that they had answered, like other than what obviously what they already did. I'm glad
Yeah.
they answered about the HUD. I'm
Mhm.
glad they answered about or about the boss spam, or not boss spam, but the lack of bosses from BO6 returning. Was there anything you had in mind, like that you would wish that?
So definitely one thing I wanted them to answer, which I don't think they would ever answer this ever, is and because like I said, the curse mode, they're trying to be secretive about it and they're trying to keep it to where it's more of a discovery thing. But I really wish they just were more transparent about that mode because listen, these people know there's so many people that want this classic style mode. They know this, okay? They're not stupid. I mean, they clearly stated it in the video. They heard that their concerns about like legacy weapons coming back, like the Olympia and the PPSH. And then, they said they saw discussion about the bosses returning. So they see this stuff. And it kind of goes back to your point about the keeping things secret just to keep them secret or to kind of control the narrative kind of thing. And that's what I feel like they're doing. Either number one, because the mode isn't as deep as they're saying that it's going to be. That's what I'm really worried about. I'm worried we're going to get in game with Cursed. And, obviously we're going to have the old point system. It's going to be great. And then there's going to be like 3 relics you unlock. And then that's it. It's just like a normal match, right? When you could just skip all that nonsense and just give us an actual classic mode. Just give it to us, right? Oh, shit. Anyways. But but in general though, like I hate that how secretive they are about it. Like I said, I get it. I understand. There's a lot of pressure on certain people to be like how it was in the past because that's how people want it. But if I wanted specifically more answers for one thing, it would definitely be that, and I didn't get that. They pretty much said the same thing, and I think the only new thing that they mentioned was that ammo prices were going to be different. That's the only new thing that I heard them say. So that's just me.
And that they're
ammo.
not getting rid of armor.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started with that. Like listen. It's not that armor to me is the worst thing in the world, right? I don't think armor as a concept is the worst thing in the world. I just hate that they didn't give it the ammo box treatment. They didn't zombify, right? They didn't make it feel like it's a part of the zombies universe, like kind of how they took the ammo box from BO6. It just looks like a generic ass futuristic ammo box. Now it actually has that kind of theming of, oh, okay, I could see this being in this world, right? I could see this artistically being in this world. And I know they said, oh, we're gonna have a Voltrade augment that does it. Okay, well, what if you like another augment better? You're not gonna have that option.
Yeah.
And then
It's just
it's just an augment, right? And then with the the curse mode, golden armor, right? I mean, I know they say it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really challenging. That's really ultimately the only thing we got to wait for. We have to be able to get into gameplay and actually see how it plays before we actually make a total opinion about it, obviously. But for me, I don't know, man. I wish they would have taken away armor for sure. That's definitely one thing.
I think so. I wonder with, and I'll jump from this topic to another topic having to do with curse mode in just a second. But having okay, so when it comes to having no armor, I'm wondering like if it simply is just because of the damage system that the zombies have in the game, that they were just like, they have no other way to, I don't know, increase your health resistance, like just so that you don't have the armor, like to compensate for it. Because I mean, people obviously aren't a fan of plating themselves. So
no, not at all.
I think like in order to
right,
I think to compensate, and I don't know how this would work, would just be, or you would think, right, to to increase your base health more, I guess a little bit. I don't know how that would work with balancing. But they must not want to, or must not feel like it's as much of a priority to do that when they just have armor.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why. I just don't know. I don't know. I know. But something I do like about the curse mode, this is separate, is that it is now behind the first person to figure out the Easter. I like that.
I like that a lot.
I do think that was
agree with
a good thing they announced, where it's like this community event sort of deal. Kind of like Destiny, where if you beat the raid, you get like a normal version of it or whatever. But I do like that it's more incentive to just do the Easter egg, and for everyone to do the Easter egg. I like that that's like a good middle ground here. So it's like you don't technically have to do it yourself. Somebody else will do it, but it's like, you can contribute a little bit if you wanted to. I like that a lot.
I definitely think that's true. So, like I said, for me, man, I just really hope that, I guess the biggest thing that I really want out of this game, man, is because, I mean, like I said, it is so similar to Black Ops 6 as far as like the gameplay is concerned. I don't know if you played the beta at all, but like just playing it and the general, game loop and everything is very similar. I think the only thing that was pretty different was the actual high rounds. They are definitely a lot different just as far as like the way damage is concerned. There's not as many super sprinters, which is a good thing.
Right.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I don't know, man. I just don't feel like there's enough change, and I hope that they introduce a lot of new things in this game just throughout the season, because I'm afraid that I'm gonna play this game and like you have Ashes of the Dam that seems like such a fucking awesome experience, like on face value, but the actual gameplay systems you're gonna be playing through for another year are so similar to Black Ops 6's, which I'm glad that I took a break from Black Ops 6. I stopped playing Black Ops 6 Zombies like probably the day after Reckoning released because I beat the Easter egg and I was done with it. I'm glad I did that, because if I was still playing now and then I went straight into Black Ops 7, I probably would have been burnt out and wouldn't have even wanted to play it because of how similar it is. So, but I don't know, man. That's just me. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think it's a huge issue. It's just too similar.
I do think that in a way, I definitely agree with you. The game, I think the only difference that I feel that's actually there is the tweaks that they're making to everything around, like everything that's not your character. So like, but I think the only thing that's actually there is like the advanced movement, the wall jump stuff, and the fact that there's no tack sprint.
That is a plus. I like that.
I think that's a great change.
Yeah, I really like that too.
I don't know if it's worth, or I don't know if it's like worth being like, yeah, this is so brand new, just because it's like, it's just a small change. I do, however, think this game will feel like a better Black Ops 6, even though it'll feel similar. I think it will be better, and I think I can give that credit, at least in that regard. I do also, when we're getting to the gameplay specifics, I am happier with things like the salvage rate, drop rates,
Me
and
too.
the fact that it and the what else is it?
The mystery box is actually useful.
Okay, I was just getting there. And the fact that it costs more to level up your rarity, so you're more inclined to hit the box. That's exactly where I was going with that. I am so happy for that. I love Black Ops 6. I love the gameplay features. I hate the loadouts. Because it just, that is another thing that is not encouraged. Interacting with the things that are for zombies, like the mystery box.
Exactly.
I mean, I would hit it just because I would want to. But I like that it makes you like want to, or feel the need to hit the box. Is actually more of a benefit to that.
Yeah,
and I
it's
think
more incentive.
the salvage rates, exactly.
Yeah,
salvage rates.
I agree. Especially because like when we did our round 50, we were getting up there and I was getting so like limited salvage that I was like, dude, I'm gonna go hit the fucking box and get a better weapon.
Yep, I agree, man.
And yeah.
Okay, so I would like to ask you guys this question. So just based off of what we play in the beta, I know we don't have augments and all that to be able to judge this off of, so it's going to be different on launch. But what are the two biggest things, like just as far as like, what you would take away and what you would add? So what is the biggest thing you would love to add to the game, just as far as like your personal preference? And what is the biggest negative that you would take away?
You're talking for...
Just for Black Ops 7 zombies in general. Like if there's one thing you could take away now and one thing you could add now before launch.
For me, honestly, I really miss like map specific characters, and I understand like, they do the operator system so that, you can pick the character you want to play as and everything. But I really think in a map like this, it would be great if it was similar to Alpha Omega, where you load in and as you guys like, you and your team join in the match, it will randomize you between the 8 characters and maybe keep the operator system for survival maps. You know what I mean?
Right.
That way you can have people where if they want a camo grind as their whoever they purchased from the store, the Beavis and Buttheads and Stan Smiths, as you will, and keep them in the survival maps, and that also keep every match from being one person playing as Weaver and everybody else playing as Maya. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Exactly.
I really don't want to try to do the Easter egg and the entire crew I'm playing with. I have 2 Tachios, 1 Richtofen, and a Maya. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I miss the days where you'd do an Easter egg and you'd hear all the unique conversational quotes between everybody. And for me, that would be my biggest addition, as well as probably my takeaway with taking away the operator system.
Okay. That's interesting. I like that. What about you, Clambo?
I think to jump off of what you were saying, Killer, I think I feel this way about poor old Matsuki.
Mm-hmm.
He
Oh man.
he basically is I don't know if you know Journey, but is one of our friends who's super into the idea of just giving a cosmetic filter, so that it just doesn't feel like you're seeing Nicki Minaj run around like all the time. So it feels like Call of Duty. But in order to do that, or excuse me, where am I going with this? Basically, I think we're long past the days of not. I think operators are always going to be in zombies from now on for until the very end time. I think operators, or at least for the foreseeable future, operators will be in zombies. Unless zombies is its own separate entity, I think operators will just be there. And I think they're trying to please the hardcore fans by making it like a dedicated crew with unique quotes and all that stuff, but also allowing for operators to be in a game is just something. And I mean, look, I guess it's fine. You know, if somebody really doesn't care about the story and all that, if they want to just hop on, it's all good, I guess.
Yeah.
I obviously I would be playing as one of the 4, or one of the 8 rather. Let's be real, one of the 4.
One of the 4.
One of the 4.
One of the 4, man.
Give
Weaver a chance. Give him a chance.
Yeah, right. Give Weaver a chance.
Does that hold up? Let me add Stanley to the call.
right. But I think I'm with you, Killer. But I think in regards to my thing that I wish they would just get rid of is what I already said. I think that is one of the biggest problems for zombies, feeling like it is a progression-based game, or like different progression-based game. Because you can, you spawn in with a gray gun, you can level it up. There's that progression.
Yeah.
But I think it hurts the variety. That's the thing. So like spawning with the gun you want, you're not encouraged to hit the box, or not as much, rather not encouraged to hit the box, not encouraged to buy a different wall buy, different things like that. I think that'd be the thing that I want to remove. But I think the thing you said, remove and add. I think what I would like for them to add, that's a good one. Did you say what you wanted them to add, Killer? Or would you know something that you would want them to add?
Yeah, I think he said.
Yeah, I wanted them to add the like the character selection of Alpha Omega.
I see. Understood. Yeah. I wish. Oh, here's something. I think I don't know if this, but I think what I wish they would do, and this is kind of like a weird one, I guess. I like when zombies was kind of a slower pace.
That's exactly where I was about to go to. I like it.
I was gonna say, like, I want them to like maybe add, again, this is something else to take away, I don't know, slow things down a little bit, slow your characters sprint speed and your characters walking. That's why they made the maps so huge, or excuse me, not, or the map like farm, compared to how it looked in BO2. Everything was so close knit, or close and tight. Everything's all spread out now, which is perfect for the new movement system. I do like the Omni movement, but I do think I prefer when it was lower in that regard.
I agree. I completely 100% agree. Okay, so for me, all right, and I was about to go where you were going to go. Okay, so the biggest thing for me that I think that they need to change is the speed of the game. I feel like, and I guess also just kind of the progression of difficulty. I wish that they would take away the damage scaling shit, man. Compared to what it was like in the older games, where it was just a 2-hit down when you didn't have Jug, and it was like 5 hits with Jug. I wish that would come back. I hate how in the first 10 rounds, you can just go absolutely brain dead and just, you spawn in with your, your M4 or whatever you want, and you can just absolutely destroy everything. And then things get harder as they go. But in the older games, dude, if you're not careful, it's round 2, you could be done. Like that was part of that was like one of my favorite things about the old games, is how, I guess not stressful, but how challenging it could be in the beginning, because you had to be careful. You couldn't get swiped twice or you're done. Like, I can't tell you how many moments I've had like in the older games where I'm like, oh yeah, it's another game of, let's just say Zetsubo or something, right? I got this. I played this map a million times. And then it's round 5, I get double swiped and I did. And I'm like, well, fuck,
It's like the idea of like being thrown to the wolves.
Exactly. I miss that so much. And I get probably the reason they do it is because the newer player on average is probably going to get discouraged whenever they get, double swiped on Rive 5 and they're like, oh, this game is too hard. And let's be honest with you, part of the reason people do that is because of, they just don't have the attention span anymore to be able to handle that. But that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah.
But just
because I remember.
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
You're okay.
Back in the day, when World at War, when zombies first came out, like me and all my friends, we were, I don't know, like 5th, 6th grade, and our favorite thing was like none of us could get past wave 10, but we loved just trying to see how far we could get comparing. I got to round 7, dude.
Round 7, dude.
It's an achievement. You know what I mean?
I love that.
That culture's so different now. The culture's way different with zombies.
I know. It's so crazy.
Keep
going. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I love that, dude. And I completely agree. That's part of the reason why it makes it so fun, right? It's the difficulty, and it gives it way more replayability. There's not pretty much a guarantee you're going to make it past round 20 or 30, right? There's no guarantee of that. So if I were to take away one thing, it would definitely be the damage scaling. And if I were to add one thing, I wish there was a more... Now, we'll see. I mean, like I said, the game hasn't come out yet. But Black Ops 6, for me, the Wonder Weapon experience, for the most part, was really lackluster. There was not enough unique weapons in that game. And, let's see. What do you have in BO6? You have the Gorg effects. That's unique. You have...
It's unique, but I did not like it.
Me neither.
You have that.
The swords are cool.
The swords are great. I like the swords, especially after they buffed them. They're a lot better. And then you have the goodness, what's the one from Terminus? Yeah, the Beam Smasher, right? And it's just insane.
You count the incantations?
For me, not really, because all they are is basically overpowered ammo mods is what they are. They're just basically overpowered ammo mods. Like you use the, like for example, the healing one, like yes, it does a shit ton of damage and it just gives you healing, orbs to heal up. Or you use the fire one, it just does a bunch of damage. If that's pretty much all they are. Now, I do give them credit for doing something a little different, because it does feel, especially in your first few matches, that it is different and you're going for something different. But they need way more, not just different, but map-specific weapons. I don't want to see the Wonder Waff again. I don't want to see the jet gun again. I don't want to see any of that. I want to see unique wonder weapons in this game. Now, obviously, the ray gun Mark II, those are kind of staples. You can throw them in every map if you want to. But just as far as the actual main wonder weapon itself, they need to add more variation. And I don't know if you guys have seen the leaks. Have you guys seen the leaks for what the new maps could be? I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen that.
You're talking about
they're... Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, you're talking about the leaks where, not to be specific, but they were kind of tied in with, the new characters' backstories.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've seen that.
Yeah. I haven't seen what they are, but I know that is what it's about.
Okay. So I really hope that for each map, whenever they come out, they do something really unique. So one of them, I'm not going to say what the map's going to be, just to keep it spoiler free for everybody here, but there is a map that's going to be in a more steely, or apparently anyway, it's going to be in a more steel type of environment. And one cool idea I came up with in my head is they can make a wonder weapon that uses magnetic force as its ability. So you could say, for example, shoot 2 areas of a map, and then you could use it and actually like use the magnetic abilities to like make the zombies crush into each other or something like that. I think that would be
That'd be
so sick, dude. Like they need to come up with ideas like that. And I don't know if it's just because they've run out of ideas or they're trying to use AI to make the ideas for them now. I don't know what the problem is, but BO6 was probably like my biggest disappointment was that game was the weapons. I really hope they do better this year, which it seems like they are so far. You know, you got that kind of claw wonder weapon and it looks pretty unique.
Yeah,
It looks
that thing
pretty
looks
cool.
sick.
So I'm looking forward to that, but we'll see, you know, obviously as the game cycle goes on and, you know, comes out with more DLC and things of that nature, how it goes. But I guess the only other thing that I would want to, I guess, ask you guys as far as that broadcast is concerned is do you feel like, okay, I don't know if this is just me, as far as Kevin Drew is concerned, do you feel like the dude is trying to be Jason Blundell 2.0?
No.
You don't. Okay. All right. So I actually went into a forum earlier today and I saw a lot of people trying to like basically argue that, oh, he's trying to be Jason Blundell 2.0. He's trying to be secretive like he used to be, but he's not as good at it. And I was kind of like hinting at that a while ago, but I want to see what your guys' opinion is about Kevin Drew. Because for me personally, if I were to choose an era of zombies, right, you got Jimmy Zelensky, you got Blundell, and you got him. Nothing against him, but he would be the last one that I would, you know, basically have on my list. And if I had to get rid of one, it'd be him. Do you guys feel like he has enough identity in, like, just as far as like him being the lead of zombies? Or is it a good thing that he's not that anymore? I don't know what to think of it, but I'm just curious to see what you guys think about it, just as far as him specifically is.
You want to go first, Killer?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say,
So-
if you don't want to, I can.
So to me personally, his presence as the lead, I would say 80% of the time, I completely forget that he is a person in this machine. Like, I feel like his presence just really isn't as forefront as it should be. And I feel like, I don't know, with Jason and Jimmy, like there just used to be more of them, kind of. I mean, honestly, there was even a period of time where, what was that guy's name? Mark Lamia was more involved with the zombies than Kevin Drew has been.
Yeah, it's true.
And I feel like, you know, Milo's always like has tweeted pictures with him and everyone's talking about him in his red shirt or whatever. And I'm just like,
yeah, it's a purple shirt. So I
half
feel
the
like
time
he's
I'm like, who
more
are
known
you?
for the shirt than actually being a zombies developer.
Yeah. And like,
it's just a meme.
Milo tweeted a photo recently, or like retweeted his photo where he was at Connext last year, or from when they got to play BO7 early.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this entire photo and like Kevin Drew's there, but I don't recognize him just looking at the photo. You know, I recognize the YouTubers and I'm like, who the hell is that guy? And then I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's that dude with the magenta shirt.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's never happened before. And I feel like I feel like it's not him trying to be anybody else, but I feel like he's trying too hard to fill the shoes instead of just putting on his own pair. You know what I mean?
Yep. I 100% agree with that. That's
Really?
what I think.
I was thinking like I'm on like the opposite end where I don't think he's trying enough. But I don't think when I say trying enough, I don't think I'm not trying to say that it's something that he should do because I don't know if he even would want to be like have that spotlight on him because I mean if you look at any like director or any like lead in past Call of Duty, they have gotten a lot of praise, but they've also gotten a lot of hate because if you even look at David Vonderhaar, he got so much hate for things back in like BO2 and like early days of Treyarch early games, and he had a lot of backlash. I mean, even with the freaking DSR nerf, like stuff like that, it's like people go crazy over that stuff. So I don't blame Kevin for not wanting to what Jason and them did just for his own mental sake.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think it almost feels like he wants to try to, especially when it comes to this like dev talk, with, you know, people next to him, you know, not just on his own. but I think if he it's almost not working because he has like 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out the door. It's at least how I see it. It
Yeah.
seems like
Yeah.
I think if he's gonna want to do it, then he should go all in. Doesn't
Yeah.
want to do it, then I guess this kind of works where he's got himself and a couple other people, but I think a lot of people want to point to somebody when something goes wrong or something goes right. So I don't
Yeah.
blame him if he doesn't want to
Be
want
the
that
fall
hot water,
guy.
especially especially when it's we have as many people as we do playing zombies now.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean that is fair, and I do see your side. The only counter argument I would make, and we can agree to disagree.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Mhm.
Um, if you're not wanting to deal with that, then you shouldn't accept the responsibility of being lead. You know what I mean? If you're going to accept the responsibility of being lead in an ever growing landscape of video gaming and, online culture,
Yeah.
especially with the Call of Duty community and how widespread it is. Like, it is crazy now compared to then.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're going to become a lead of that, you really have to weigh those choices and be like, am I going to accept this responsibility and all that comes with it? Or am I going to want to, like you said, have 1 foot in, 1 foot out and kind of leave everybody always feeling with a sour taste in their mouth?
Lukewarm. That's how I like to
Yeah.
describe that whole situation for me.
I think it might benefit them to hire somebody who is like a community manager.
Mhm.
And I don't know if who's the community. Actually, am I tripping? Who is there? A community manager here now?
I want to say there was somebody, but I don't know who it is anymore.
But some
Yeah.
person who is like at the front, who is like trained for this type of environment,
Yeah.
that knows when to like say something, when to back off. I think it would benefit Treyarch to have someone who can communicate effectively, which is something I don't think Kevin Drew does very well a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I think it's like I think he's trying to be like it, but or be like Jason in them, but I think it's just not. Some ways it's not working. But I am curious to see how he handles this year's game. Maybe he'll get better at it. Maybe he won't. But I am like I said, I'm happy that they have this dev talk, and I think because it's the first one, I think there's going to be growing pains.
Yeah.
So I think it'll benefit having more of them and seeing how he talks about things. So, and I want to see him be that person. I full disclosure, I would love to see him be that person and want him to want to do that. We'll just have to wait and see. I hope he gets better at communicating those properly.
Yeah.
Me too.
I completely agree. Love it. Love it. Okay. So as far as the discussion is concerned, all right. So I kind of want to get more into the game itself now. So
keep it coming. Let's go.
I want to know your guys' opinion so far. I'm assuming you guys have seen gameplay of Ashes of the Damned and all that at COD Next, or at least the limited time we got to see of it. I think it was like half the map that got to play. What is your guys' opinion on the systems of that map? Like how it's looking so far, the old Tessie and all that stuff? And what is your opinion, or I guess what's your prediction? Is this going to be like a top map? Is it going to be mid? Is it going to be bad? Like, what is your guys' opinion of the map in general? I'm curious to hear.
I think the map, I think it's gonna be awesome. I'm not even capping. I think the map will be cool. I love the idea of the Pack-a-Punch being attached to truck. So there's like an importance with the truck. It's not just something you use to get around. It is something that will probably benefit taking with you. In a way, I guess. At least I hope so. I hope it doesn't turn into one of those things where it's like you use it for like the first week because it's like cool to use it, but then you wind up just using the jump pads because you just kind of forget about it. But I like that there's at least some importance with that truck. That is very cool. I like that. It's like the spiritual successor to the bus, which obviously has Ted in it, which is another cool thing. I hope and I don't think there will be. I hope there might be more upgrades that they talk about, but I don't know. In terms of the map traversal, it seems fine. It seems like it would be one of those like like the Wonder Sphere where you go to the different areas of the map. I think that's fine. If you're not feeling like you want to drive somewhere, I think that's fine, cool. I'm trying to think of what else specifically. I guess the little middle areas that have like all the Ravagers spawn in and have like the explosive things seems cool. Again, it's like something it's hard to judge without actually seeing it.
Yeah.
But it seems like it would be an interesting idea. I think because there's so many POIs inside of the map, I think
Yeah,
it'll
it's
probably
huge.
wind up feeling like it's a lot of bang for your buck.
Mhm.
And because I was watching Chopper play at COD and I was like thinking to myself, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this map looks really cool. And I was like, dang, this map is huge. And then I was like, wait, this is half of the map.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So I think I hope that there are secrets and things kind of stuffed into the map, and it's not just like
Yes.
it's not just one of those things. So like Terminus.
Mhm.
Terminus, I love Terminus. I love Terminus. But I think when it comes to the map being at the time the biggest map that they have made, it was because of the whole like islands outside, and there
Yeah.
wasn't a whole lot out there. There were some things, don't get me wrong. But it just kind of felt like maybe they didn't need to be there. I mean, I know it was for the like the beam smasher up or to make the beams. I feel like I'm just kind of yapping right now. But basically, I just hope that the map is like full of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think it'll be cool, but I'd love to play.
Hell yeah. I love it. What about you, Killer? What you think?
Um, I think, at least from everything I saw, it looks really good. I think it has potential to be top 10, top 15.
Mhm.
Again, that's
Yeah.
potential, not guaranteed. We haven't gotten our hands on it yet. I agree with Clambo, with old Tessie. I think it's going to be really fun to utilize at first, but I do think that the jump pads are going to end up being everybody's main, like, source of getting around.
Mhm.
Especially, I don't know if you guys utilize the bug in the training course to
Yeah.
jump to the spawn.
Guilty.
Like, doing that and seeing how fast it is to get over there versus
Yeah.
how long I assume it'll
truck.
take to get over there with the truck, going based upon like the speed of driving a truck in Warzone, right? If it's similar, it's gonna take probably
It's gonna take
half
while.
to a quarter of the time to use the jump pad. The only downside to the jump pads are you get like 2 to 3 consecutive jumps on them and then they cool down,
Yeah.
which means like if you have your whole team utilizing the jump pad, you might have one person that gets left behind and has to
Yeah.
wait for the jump pad to cool down. And if you're in dire straits, like that person is fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's done. Oh man, going down on this map's gonna be so bad if you're far away from
it's
your
gonna,
teammates. It's
yeah.
gonna be crazy.
I do think though, my main thing is also, like Clambo said, I really want to see it packed full of secrets, especially since it's supposed to be all of these locations that had such horrible atrocities happen in them that the dark ether couldn't help but pull them in.
Yep.
That opens the door to like
does.
so many things. And I feel like a lot of people would call it, just reusing shit to reuse shit and like jingling keys, but
Yeah.
I would love to see other, not POIs that are playable, but just like other noticeable things in the background. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Agreed.
I would love to, like, on one of the jumpers, you see, like, in the background, you see the asylum. You know what I mean? Or just, like, some stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. I don't know if, I can't remember which half of the map was playable, if they started at the spawn outside of Janus Towers.
They were in Janus
Yeah,
Towers.
Janus Towers.
Yeah. I know one of the towers is knocked down. I'm not sure how much of it you get to go through, but I think it would be cool for like that aspect if there was like one of the rooms, like one of the levels of tower was like on its side or upside down, and you got to be in that area of the map for just like one, one like the mushroom room, right? Like if you're in that room and it's on the ground but upside down, and even if it's just a way through and you don't actually do much in there, just stuff like that would be cool, I think.
I agree. Okay, so for me, I do want to give props to them for the art design for this map. It is absolutely fantastic. It's 10 million times better than anything that we saw in Black Ops 6. Like, I think the only map in Black Ops 6 for me that felt like it had atmosphere like that, for me anyways, was Terminus. I love Terminus's atmosphere. Is great. But anyways,
Agreed. I do like the tomb, like the
mhm.
inside the dark ether. I like that.
Yeah, that
But
looks cool.
for the most part, I agree with you.
Yeah. But I want to give him props there, but I want to kind of go deeper on those thoughts that you guys had about the secrets. I really think what's going to make or break this map is the in between zones. If those in between zones are empty and it's literally just you driving the truck through and you just to get to the next zone or to jump pad to the next zone, I think it's going to take this map down a notch for me. I really hope that they pack it with storytelling, mapped storytelling. Visually, it's maybe like there's notes on the ground that you can read or something like that, like how it was in the old games. Like I used to love going to like, let's say for example, World at War. I'm in Doris. God, I just said that. I don't know if you guys. I'm on Doris.
I'm on the Reese. Take a good hard look at the map.
I don't know if you guys know this. I'm assuming you know the song. Anyways,
Of course.
anyways, so I go, in the Thompson room, and I do the Easter egg to move the brick out of the way so I can find that note on the ground talking about like the experiments that's happening in the facility. It gets me so invested. I really hope, especially in the in-between zones, there is things like that. So it makes the map interesting in that way. And I will say this now, my biggest problem with Black Ops 6, period, was its story. It sucked so much ass. It was so bad.
They should have let AI write that.
No, AI would have done a better job is what's sad.
They should
AI
have
would
AI
have done
write
better
that
than they
shit.
did. That's what's awful about it. But now that we've got sort of a fresh start, we're in a completely different dimension now. We've got our 4 characters back now, which yes, we've seen them before, but at least they're more interesting than the crew we have now, and it has a lot of potential to bring really cool story elements in. So I'm really hoping that they bring that in first of all. But just as far as the map itself, I agree that it has potential to be a top map. It really, really does. And like I said, like you guys kind of said too, the traversal, I think how it's going to work is the first week people are going to love it. They're going to be pack-a-punching on that thing, using the Wonder Waff turret, killing shit for fun. But I think what the truck's going to end up turning into is you're going to use it, put the upgrades on it that you need, it's pretty much Ted and pack-a-punch. That's all you really need. They're going to pack-a-punch 3 times and jump pad everywhere. I think that's what it's going to end up being like. And then what's going to be annoying is that since pack-a-punch is not in one specific spot in the map and it's on the truck, if you're jump padding everywhere and you leave the truck somewhere, hopefully there's a marker. I guess the mini map will be useful somewhat in this map, because if you don't know where the truck's at whatsoever, you won't be able to find the pack-a-punch unless I think there's pads where you can actually like summon the truck, if I'm not mistaken.
I was thinking. I wasn't sure if I had seen that too. Yeah, it's like a little, almost like a garage. Like it seemed like.
Yeah.
And there's like a way like I think you could park it there and it'll like heal too. I wasn't sure if you could spawn it there too. I wasn't sure if I had seen that or not. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I want to say yes, but we'll see how many locations there is. From what I remember, I want to say there was only one location in the map on that one half that we saw, and that was on the old abandoned town side, I think is where that garage is where you can summon it. So I'm interested to see how that dynamic will play out with the truck. I think it's an interesting idea. I love the art design of it. I love how you can get upgrades for it and all that good stuff. It's amazing. But like I said, for me, I think the rating for me is going to be dependent upon the storytelling in the map. And I do think it's going to be better automatically, because like even in Van Dorn Farm, I don't know if you guys like just, I took a second, just like hold a crawler and just kind of walk around the map and see kind of what it visually tells me. I love how that family is just sitting there dead. Mm-hmm. It makes me, and they have the chord effects box down beneath on the second floor. Yep. So you automatically start thinking like, okay, I'm thinking these people obviously worshipped him. I wonder how they died. I wonder what happened. Like, and I start playing all these scenarios in my head. That's what takes zombies to me, or takes zombies to the next level for me. Like, whenever I am curious about the world, whenever I want to explore the world, it adds unlimited replayability for me because I want to constantly find out, okay, what is going on here? What is the next step for where we're going next? And before we move on, I want to see what your opinion is on this really quick as well, guys. As far as the maps going forward after this map. So obviously, we're going to be getting a big map, I'm assuming probably every season-ish, maybe season and a half or so. And we're going to be getting our survival maps. Do you guys think, this is just my opinion, I really hope the maps going forward aren't the exact same color palette as this map. I hope we don't go to, like, for example, that map I was speaking about a while ago, and it's just another purple skybox. I hope that each map has its own super unique environment. I hope it isn't just purple the whole time. I don't know what you guys think
we're
about
in the dark
that.
ether. We're in the dark ether, presumably the whole time, right? Or for at least a good while. Is that what's
So
Pretty sure it's the whole time.
we are, but we have seen, now I know Vanguard is trash, guys. I know, but
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
But Vanguard, I do like that they switched up the way the dark ether looked. They had more of a reddish kind of
that was awesome.
orangey kind of look to it. I hope they experiment with that more because I mean we're in a world where anything is possible, right? Like we're in a completely different dimension. So I hope they play with the color palettes more. I hope that they play with the more fantastical more. That's what's going to make this year great for me, just in general, is if they play with those ideas. And I mean, like I said, I hope to God we don't have no boss enemy problems like we did this past year. I think the only one I would probably accept, maybe, just coming back over and over is the dogs. But the only reason I would even accept that is just because it's an easy max ammo. But that doesn't mean it would make the maps good. So we'll see, though. I don't know what your guys' opinion on that is as far as like the environment for the maps are. Do you want it to be kind of dark and purple the whole time, or what would you guys prefer?
I do not. I think it's cool. And I think a lot of times, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Killer, if you were about to say something.
No, you go first. You go ahead.
I got you. I think sometimes, or at least in the past, like at least in Black Ops 6, I feel like when Treyarch finds out that we like something, they're like, all right, let's just do it again. Let's just do that again. They like that, let's just do it again. I feel like that's how they felt about the Doppelgast.
Yeah.
I like the Doppelgast.
Dude,
I don't like seeing him all the time, though. I like him. I don't want to keep seeing him, even though he's like, he's easy to kill, but he's quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep seeing him. And I'm afraid that in this weird, like, talking up this environment, it's like, oh my gosh, this map looks so good. I hope that they don't just say, oh, okay, they like this, let's just copy and paste it for each one. So I'm 100% with you. Not. I hope that because that would give this map more personality than the other map. Exactly. I think something that, and again, going back to Black Ops 6, something that Black Ops 6 did so well, at least for a couple of the maps, like Terminus stands out from a lot of the rest of them. But if you look at like Janus Towers and Liberty Falls, they both have a similar vibe to them. And obviously they play very differently in terms of the atmosphere. They're kind of very similar. Even the outside of Tomb is like very, very similar to that, like similar time of day sort of deal. Citadel is okay. It's different enough, but it's kind of not hitting the same. So at least when it comes to the future maps in BO7, I agree with you. I hope that they just say F it to the rules because it's the dark ether. Something that, I don't know, make it so that Richthofen touches a button or he touches like a stone and it turns everything red and it turns everything like hellish or give me something like that. Like there's no like
I would love that.
The creative freedom. They have all this creative freedom to do literally anything they want and write any rules that they want. So I'm with you. Absolutely. I hope each map feels different from
Yeah. I think for me, I'm a huge sucker in like media when there is a big theme to the story, like of a season or a film or an episode, and you balance the color palette with that theme. So like, for instance, if each map is like about one of the characters, give me a different theme for every map, and along with that theme, a tonal match in color palette. And I feel like that is like storytelling 101 already, especially in filmography, anything, right? But I feel like that's one of the biggest things that Zombies has been missing a lot is overall themes every map. And I feel like you guys have said, Terminus had that, but then they just kind of lost it.
Mhm.
And every map after that, you can have a good daytime map.
Oh yeah,
right? Like
for sure.
everybody shits on dates. You can have a good daytime map, but when you constantly put it at golden hour, everyone's gonna be like, "This sucks," right?
Exactly.
And I feel like you're saying, right? Like the map that we were talking about with all the steel and everything, right? Give me a red fucking skybox, black clouds. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
dude.
Pitch black clouds. I want spaces in between with the lighting when you're running between said steel things, and you have that red light peeking out in like
Oh yeah.
alleyways in the map and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and then when creatures are in that red light, like make the lighting hit them so they look black, and all you see is their silhouette with their eyes
Oh,
and shit. You
dude,
know what
that'd
I
be
mean?
great. I'd love that.
Horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And then one point to go back on real quick,
Mhm.
like how you guys were talking about the doppelgasts and how they double down on things that the community likes a lot. I feel like with those special enemies, clearly they want to reuse them sometimes because it helps with budget and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But man, I'm just such a big sucker for like story, and
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be so cool to, like, let's say this big ass map, right? You have pieces from all these other maps. Have it be where like if you completed the Easter egg in Janus Towers, right? You have one of the key cards or something. You can open up like a specific door that's near the Janus Towers location, and you can only open it up if you have that.
Yeah.
Then you can fight a doppelgast, you know, and it'll give you a special reward or something. Or like, let's say you do that, and then there's also a crate left over because apparently, like, one of the terminus ships is in the map somewhere. Like, there's a crate that if you get it open, there's an amalgam in there, and you fight the amalgam. And then like one of the other maps or one of the other locations, like the place that's based off of Launch and Ascension, you have one mangler hidden in there somewhere that you can fight. And if you fight all of them, you get like a really cool calling card of like Remember Forever or something, you know what I mean? And you have like Samantha's like where her and Eddie were playing with the toys, and instead of the toys of Primus, you just have like little dolls of the amalgam, the doppelgast, the mangler and stuff. And that way you can reutilize that enemy that you spent all this time doing, but you're not overdoing it to where they're all over the map and you have to actively seek out that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that idea, man. I like that a lot. And, you know, like you said, the one thing that there's one big misconception about zombies. Zombies has been reusing assets ever since it first started. A lot of people like to complain that, oh, zombies is nowadays always reuse assets. No, that's not the case. Zombies has been reusing assets ever since the very beginning. But it's not that they reuse the assets, like you said, Killer. It's the way that they actually use them and the way that they present them. So, for example, whenever they made, you know, Doris, it's literally a reused multiplayer map, but they rearrange.
Nightfire.
Yeah, Nightfire. That's exactly what it is. And they reuse it. They rearrange
all the maps.
Yeah, seriously, all of them are multiplayer maps. And I hear so many people complain about that. Oh, it's just the multiplayer. It's just a multiplayer map. I think part of the reason people don't think about World at War in this example is because World at War atmospherically is literally like a 10 out of 10. Like out of every Call of Duty, if I can think of the most atmospheric, dark COD, it is World at War. And I think that's why the maps work so well as a reused zombies map, you know, or reuse them for zombie maps, is because the atmosphere already is perfect for it. But even down the line, I mean, even in Black Ops 1, like Ascension is a reused multiplayer map, but they remake it to make it feel like zombies. And I think that is the biggest thing that they need to do. Like you said, repackage the way that you spoke of. So that way it's not like, oh, well, this is the same thing over and over again. But no, we are going to present this to you in a different way. It's going to have a different art style. It's going to have a different feel. And I think that's part of the reasons why, to me, I was so disappointed about no armor changes, is I figured armor was going to get an aesthetic change. Like, think about like the armor being like, I don't know, like dark ether crystals or something like that, right? And it's you don't just freaking sit there and do this the whole fucking time. Like you like maybe you see like the crystals in your hand and you shoot them up in the air, and maybe it's not you just put on one plate at a time, but if you just do this ability, it refills all your armor at the same time. Like just do something cool. Just right, like do something like that, dude. Like something. But anyways, I know I'm gonna be.
No. I totally get you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I completely
think
agree
it's
with you
like-
as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of, and I think they're headed in the right direction with things like the ammo crate. I just think that they could. I'm with you. They could do more. They could
100%.
they could put in. They could do more. Some stuff like for example, like for the armor, I would love for them to have something specific for the armor. Like if they, like you said, if they like crush a crystal and it's like boom, now you have one more crystal plate. Some stuff I'm like, I don't really care. I think that might be one of them for not a huge problem plating with it because it's so fast and it's so I don't know. It's just not something that I have as much issue at least as much as I had when like BO6 first came out.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm mainly really excited about is just, and I think most everyone else cares about that, the HUD, all that stuff, and to see how it's like the same functionality, but just looks and quote unquote feels different, as in like immerses. But I think in terms of the map and how it looks, I think they pretty much did a great job. I even think they can go. I think they can even go further and maybe saturate the skybox a little bit more.
Yes.
But just to make it maybe a little bit more dramatic. But I'm happy so far. But I definitely with you. There's a couple things maybe.
Sure. Okay. So just to end this off, guys. I can't believe it's already been an hour and 10 minutes. Don't even feel like it's been that long.
Just been yapping.
Yeah, I've been yapping, man. Time goes by fast when you're yapping. So when it is all said and done, what is y'all's prediction right now that what is Black Ops 7 Zombies going to be? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad? Do you think it's going to be mid or somewhere in between all that? Like, what do you guys think Black Ops 7 will end up being at the end of the day? Because this is the last Zombies game we're going to have for quite a while. I think at least 3 years. So what do you guys think it's going to end up being like whenever everything's said and done?
Man, like complete honesty, not just like hopes.
No, complete brutal
honesty. Brutal honesty. As much as I want it to be great, I don't think Treyarch has completely learned their lesson yet. And I think it'll be slightly better than Black Ops 6.
Yep.
I think you're on the right track. I think it will be better than BO6. I think as an overall Zombies package, considering we're also getting Dead Ops, I think that will really, I think that will boost the game up with how it seems like they're making Dead Ops this time around. Like with more like seemingly roguelike elements. I love roguelike games.
Dead Ops without private matches.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I think right now, at least with Ashes of the Damned, I think this map will be better than Terminus.
I agree with
but that. I think the game will be better than BO6, but by how much? Question. Brutal honesty. I think it'll win a couple people back, but not a lot.
Yeah, I think it'll be closer to Cold War than it is Black Ops 6, but it'll still be in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's all going to depend on, honestly, man, for me personally, it cursed. Like I am looking forward to that mode, and depending on how it is handled, and depending, because obviously, they're probably going to add more things to it as the season goes along, but I do generally agree that the game is just going to be an improvement upon Black Ops 6, and that nothing major is going to change until the next game. Now, I do have a good feeling now that they have all this history and all this feedback that the next game, which, oh God, by the time that comes out, I'll be 30 or something like that. That's insane. That's crazy to think about.
Me too. We can be unk status.
It'd be fucking unks playing Black Ops Zombies. Anyways, it'd be like Black Ops 10 or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, I think generally, man, I do think it'll just be an improvement, which is good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think, overall atmosphere, everything's going to be better. But I do think that it's good that I have a feeling that the Dark Ether story is going to be ended here. And I think they're going to have an opportunity next time to do something new. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. Like, yeah, I know this is going to be good. I think this year's going to be good. And they typically always start strong. Like the years of the new games always start really strong. The problem is after that. It's always after that the games seem to fall off because the quality just is not the same. Like it's not like how it was in Black Ops 3 where you had Shadows and the Giant, to hold you over, and then you had Horizon. It's like, oh my God, what? So I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise me. Like I said, I think we're all hopeful that they'll do something that shocks us, but realistically, I think it'll just be a point or two higher than
Quick
Black Ops
question.
6. Mm-hmm.
You think the Dark Ether story will end this game?
I think it'll end. I think that now, unless they decide to do something with the 4 OGs after this, I guess we'll see. But I do think that they'll end up defeating this entity, whoever this is, and I think that we'll probably now, unless they decide to do some time travel weird stuff and that the Terminus crew lives, I think we're going to see them die. And I think we're going to see everything get resolved. But I don't know. That's only if they want to make Modern Warfare zombies make sense, which it's possible that they don't. So I don't know. I mean, that's just my opinion on it. I really hope they do end it, to be honest with you, because I want them to just do something completely new when the next game comes out. So I don't know. Maybe I'm coping. I don't know.
I think because I was
go ahead, Clem. I'll go after you.
No, I was gonna say, like, if I'm like straight honest, I think there's no way in hell they're ending this story, this game. I think there's actually no way because of just these new fresh. They're going to milk these fresh character models, fresh contracts that they gave these 4 guys. I think there's no way in hell that this story's that the Dark Ether story is ending this. I think they're going to. I think they're gonna do like they might kill the what's the name, the Shadowsmith. Because because there's more of them.
Yeah,
obviously
that's true. So that's true. I didn't think about that. They say Shadow Smiths multiples. So.
Right, multiple. So I think what is going to wind up happening is it'll wind up being like they go on this journey to destroy the guy, get their souls back, or whatever the hell, and then at the end they're going to be like Dr. Monty and Shadow Man. And then that's going to be what is going to have us come back for the next game. Like I think there's actually no way that these brand new 4 characters are just for this game. I think they're gonna stretch this out as long as
ultimate clickbait.
I do gotta say, there is so much stock in with what they're doing now with the Dark Ether. We have wanted to be where we are since Cold War. You know what I mean?
True.
It feels like Cold War and BO6 were all a prologue leading up to this and a waste the possibilities. Like even if they wanted to like fuck off with the Terminus crew and only focus on these guys, they could also bounce with maps. Like how many people want to know what happened to Victus? Like we could do a Tales of the Dark Ether. You know what I mean? Where it's like what happened to Victus at the start of the Dark Ether. Like give us maps set in the period of time where shit was just falling from the sky. You know what I mean? And nobody knew what was happening. Give us a map with like operators where they're Dark Ether natives. You know what I mean? And they have no idea what the hell is happening. All of a sudden, you have all these zombies falling from the sky. You have these weird machines and everything. You know,
that would be cool.
Everything's getting thrown out of order. Like there's so much possibility that I feel like they could do with the Dark Ether. I mean, are they going to do that? Probably not. But a boy can dream.
They're just going to stick to their. They're gonna stick to their money printer with these 4 characters. Literal printing money.
So guys, all right. I got to make sure you know what this is I'm talking about before I say this. So, y'all know what happens at the end of Vanguard Zombies, right? Cortifex like just falls in that hole and then nothing happens ever again. It's just the most anticlimactic ending ever. Have y'all seen that?
I thought he fell into the Forsaken's belly.
Cortifex man, whatever the fuck that was. Anyways. I think this is what I'm going to predict that's going to happen for the memes. They're going to go to that red area in Vanguard Zombies, and they're gonna destroy whatever the cowboy's name is, and then Cortifex's son is going to come out of that hole. That's what's going to happen.
Cortifex Jr.?
Cortifex Jr. is going to come out of that hole, and he's going to be blue instead of red.
Damn.